Well, all right. So I just want to get it off my chest. I'm not worried per se. The Buccaneers beat the Eagles 27-21, and give props to the Buccaneers. I said it when I made my video on Thursday. They have weapons, and you saw what they did against the Saints, and the Saints were expected to have a better defense this year. And the Saints struggled against the Browns today, so honestly, I don't know. But this was a good game. Props to the Buccaneers. Deshaun Jackson, I said it. I said it was going to happen. He was going to burn us. It was Jalen Mills that got burned. Jalen Mills was getting played around with all day long. He's not as good. We all knew this. It's whatever. What really hurts is that offensively, again, you couldn't do much in the first half. I give props to everybody who stepped up. Aguilar had a great game. Ertz had a great game. I can't put anything on Foles. He did what he could with what he had. Corey Clement laid himself out to try and catch a Hail Mary. Mike Wallace hurt himself on the one catch that didn't count. He has yet to catch a completed pass that actually counts, and he got hurt. We don't know what his injury is, but people are asking for Des Bryant and Josh Gordon now, especially with Carson Wentz rumored to return next week. And overall, the areas that we need to work out on, we did better at this one area. It was penalties. Penalties in the second half were like non-existent. We had one penalty on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then Jalen Mills got called for holding, which ended up being a benefit for the Eagles once they got the ball back, but they still had nothing to work with. But that first half was rough. We were down 3rd and 41, and that's not at all okay. That really is not okay in any aspect of any game. You can't be down 3rd and 41. That was a decent drive as well. But, you know, like every other drive, it stalls. Again, I don't put anything on Foles. He did what he could. Defensive front, I give them props. They forced an interception. They forced a fumble. Actually, no, the corner. It was one of the corners that forced the fumble. But regardless, they had 2 turnovers. The fumble they couldn't score off of. The interception they couldn't score off of. That's a big issue as well. When you get turnovers like that, you need to actually, take advantage of those opportunities. And I want to also put out there that we've been playing handicap these last 2 games. The Falcons, I mean, we thought that they would have had a better offensive attack last week, and they couldn't score in the red zone. The Buccaneers, no one expected them to score 48 with the backup quarterback and then do the same today, but with 27 rather. I mean, I have no words to describe how well the Buccaneers have played without Jameis Winston and against 2 playoff teams that were, dominating the NFL last year. Now, I do want to also stress that this is only week 2. Last year, we did not play well in our week 2 game at all, and it was against the Kansas City Chiefs, who were one of the best offensive teams last year in the first couple of weeks. So I don't want to, worry just yet, especially when we're getting Aguilar back and we're getting Wentz back as well. Those are 2 big guys. But seeing those guys, Aguilar, Alshon Jeffrey coming back, and Ertz, Alshon and Wentz. I'm sorry for getting my words mixed up. But we're getting those guys back, and those are your 2 big guys. If we do anything to get a second wide receiver, to get a number 2, unless if Aguilar today proved that he is a number 2, because he played very well today. I can't deny that. Same with Ertz. Jay Ajayi was battling back issues. I don't think it's anything severe. It was really hot, so maybe that was a part of the issue. But he came in and did what he could under the pain and everything. Jason Peters left with a quad injury. They didn't want to, force him back in. He was struggling a lot in the first half. And yeah, I mean, it's disappointing, yes, but at the same time, you can't win every single game. And that's just how football is. And the Buccaneers will get theirs. I believe they do have a talented roster. I'm not going to deny that. They have talent all over that team. And it's the reason why they've won the first 2 games. They've just had better talent all around as a team. No injuries really, offensively as well compared to what the Eagles have had. And even the Saints, I feel like they lost Mark Ingram for the first game last week. So, I mean, again, I'm not going to stress. I don't think anyone else should stress. There's definitely areas where we need to work at. I mean, that's a part of football. That's part of sports in general. There's always a spot that needs more work. For us, it's our secondary. Jalen Mills, I'm sorry, but you are not as good as you claim yourself to be. Ronald Darby on one of the 75-yarder touchdowns missed a tackle. He has to make those tackles. And penalties need to not exist anymore, because the first quarter was killed off because of a penalty. Numerous penalties on like a 3rd down and 3, turned into 3rd down and 15, turned into 3rd down and 30, turned into 3rd down and 34. That can't happen. That is embarrassing out of everything. It's one thing to have multiple 75-plus yard touchdown passes allowed. It's another thing to kill yourself over numerous upon consecutive penalties that stall your drive. That's not okay. And again, no fault goes to Foles. He put the ball where he needed to put it. He made the plays necessary. It just wasn't enough. At the end of the day, the way that they played in the first half of the game, that's the real thing. That's really just all that killed you guys. All that killed us. Now we play Indianapolis tomorrow. There were some injuries that happened today. I don't know if Corey Clement is he came back, so maybe he's okay. We got to hear what's happening with Mike Wallace. We got to hear when Carson Wentz is cleared, and we have to hear when Alshon Jeffrey is actually coming back. Week 3 is when they thought he would come back. We got to figure that out this week. I still have high hopes for this team with everybody coming back together. They're still banged up after what happened last year. The Super Bowl run was a very, very long and painful run, but we did it, and now we're trying to chase after another one, and we can't win every game. We just can't. And who knows what's going to happen with the Buccaneers. I congratulate them. It was a great game. You guys, Fitz magic is definitely real. Let's see if it continues on, and let's see what happens with Jameis Winston. But let me know what you guys thought about this game down below. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.